active class, component, and node. And basically, behavioral things are the dynamic parts of the UML. There are two types of the behavioral things, that is called the message and state. The behavioral things are identified from the webs of the model. Third one is grouping things. Grouping things are the organizational parts of the UML. So only one grouping thing, that is called package. And fourth one is annotational things. Annotational things are the explanatory parts of the unified modeling language. These things can be used to illustrate, write remarks, comments, descriptions about the model. So annotational thing are, that is called note. And relationships are dependency, association, generation, relation. Diagrams can be classified into, that is called the structural diagrams and behavioral diagrams. That is, structural diagrams are class, object, component, and deployment. Behavioral diagrams are use case, state chart, activity, sequence, and collaborations. So today we can discuss about the architecture of the unified modeling language. So basically, UML is a visualizing, specifying, constructing, and documenting the uh, software intensive system. It emphasizes of system architectures. So the system architecture itself thinks in the system that are inter relationship among them. So basically there are 5 different views which is there in the UML architecture. So basically the significance of the any kind of architecture for decision making, organization of the software, selection of the structural elements and interface among the system are composed, behavior or collaboration of a system, and it is architectural style of guiding the system. So these are basic significant which is used for the architecture. Especially there are 5 different kind of views in the UML. So that is called use case view, design view, implementation view, process view, and deployment view. So each and every view in a unified modeling language architecture had a significant role when you're developing any kind of system or application. So the first important view is design view. Design view will focus about the vocabulary and functionality of the system. Design view will focus about the vocabulary and functionality system. Then secondly, system assembly. That is in our implementation view, system assembly and configuration management. Third view is process view. Process view will focus about the performance, scalability, throughput. Deployment view, system topology, distribution, delivery, installation. Use case view shows about the behavior of the system. So there, especially there are 5 different kind of views which is handling by the UML architecture. So we can see the individually how the UML architecture plays a key role in the development of the system development process. So first of all, there are 5 different kind of views, that is design view, implementation view, process view, deployment view, and use case view. Use case view is the centric part of the design. So from the centric part of the design, it shows about the behavior of the system. It is involving 4 views in the model. It is design view, implementation view, deployment view, process view. In a 4 views, it is having that. So that first we can see that use case view. Use case analysis is a technique to capture a business process from user perspective. So it emphasizes the behavior of the system which are seen by the different kind of users, analysts, and testers. So basically, when you are handling the use case view can handle about the different kind of users and analyst and tester based on their behavior. So basically, there are 2 types of diagrams which is involved in the use case view. That is called in the static aspects we are go for the use case diagram. In a dynamic aspects we go for the interaction, that is called dynamic diagrams, that is called state and active diagrams are using for use case view. So that is importance of use case view. Use case view is analysis. Can a technique can capture the business process from the user perspective. From the user perspective. So it encompasses the behavior of the set of users, actors, which are involved in application. Those can be analyzed by using analyst and testers. So basically there are two types of diagrams are which is involved in the use case view, that is called static diagrams and dynamic diagram. In static diagram, we will go for the use case diagram act as a static diagram in the use case view. Or dynamic diagram, we will go for state and active diagrams are the dynamic diagrams are involved in the model. Second one, design view. Design view, it shows about the functionality and the vocabulary of the system. So you know that when you are designing any kind of project, we have to think about software development life cycle. In a software development life cycle, there are 6 different phases. That is called requirements, analysis, design, implementation, testing, and deployment. So these this design view, it encompasses the entire the vocabulary of the system. In the vocabulary itself, we need to find out the nouns, pronouns, and verbs. So the nouns should be taken as classes, and verbs should be taken as a verbs should be taken as interaction between the classes, that is functions or procedure. We can implement that. So design view, it encompasses the classes, interfaces, and collaborations that define the vocabulary of the system and supports the functional requirement of the system So in the static aspects, we are using design view. In static aspects, we are using the design view. Class diagram and object diagram are using for static aspects of the design view. So in dynamic aspects, interaction diagrams are using for the dynamic aspects of the system. So you can clearly understand how design view plays a key role when developing any kind of software architecture or software development. So it deals about the defines about the vocabulary of the system. It supports the functional requirement of system. So if you want to develop the static aspects, we can use the class and object diagrams in a design view. Dynamic aspects, we go for interactions. So third one, process view. Process view encompasses the threads and process defining and concurrency and synchronization mechanism. So process view, it encompasses the threads and process during the defining the concurrency and synchronization mechanism. So basically it addresses performance, scalability, throughput. Basically it addresses the performance, scalability, and throughput. So static and dynamic aspects captured in design view. So it emphasizes emphasis on active classes. So that is in the process view. So process view, it encompasses the threads and process, defining concurrency and synchronization, addresses performance and scalability and throughput. Static and design aspects captures the design view. It encompasses the active classes. So this comes under process view. And fourth one, implementation view. Implementation view, it encompasses the components and files used to assemble and release the physical system. So in implementation, we will focus about the system environment, and it addresses the configuration management, so that we can use that. So basically the static aspects, when you are designing the implementation in static aspect, we will go for component diagram. In dynamic aspects, we will go for the interaction diagrams. So that is comes under implementation view. And next one, deployment view. Deployment view is focus about the what kind of hardware system hardware topology that can be implemented in the particular nodes. A node is nothing but a physical, or it has some computational capability with the memory. So It encompasses the nodes that from the system hardware topology. It addresses that. So deployment view addresses that distribution and delivery and installation mechanism of the system. In static aspects, deployment diagrams are using that. In dynamic aspect, interaction diagrams are using that. So that is deployment view. So that comes under the 5 different views. So design view, implementation view, process view, deployment view, use case view. Design view shows about the vocabulary and functionality. Implementation focus the system assembly and configuration management. Process view focus the addresses the performance, scalability, throughput. Deployment view address the distribution, delivery, installation, and the system topology. And use case view will focus about the behavior of system, how actors are involved, and how to that behavior can be analyzed by the testers and developers perspective. So these are 5 different kind of views which is there in the UML. So that views will consider the compute UML architecture of the model. So basically, if you want to develop any standardized general purpose modeling language, we have to follow some specific things. UML is used to specify, visualize, construct, and document designing of object-oriented system under development process. So it offers to visualize that various elements such as activities, actors, business process, database schema, logical components, programming language statements, and reusable software components, everything which is there in a standardized general purpose modeling language. It is a combination of all these things. So various elements, activities, actors, business process, database schema, logical components, programming language statements, that is programming language statements, like programming for particular module or particular application, and it is usable components. So everything which is there in a general purpose modeling language. It is also combined of data modeling, business modeling, object modeling, and component modeling. So any standardized general purpose modeling language will follow these kind of things. So UML is a standardized general purpose modeling language. It is used to specify, construct, visualize, and document the design of the object-oriented system under development process. So UML can may visualize various elements of a system such as activities, actors, business process, database, logical schema, programming languages, statements, and reusable software components. It combines techniques for data modeling. It is data modeling in the form of entity relationships, business modeling workflows, object modeling, and component modeling. So these are the things which is there in a UML platform. So there are 3 major scientists which are major contributors of the UML. So that is called Grady Buch, James Ramberg, Jacobson are 3 principal authors. Still, the UML is currently running on different kind of versions. So currently it is 2.3. So their standardized portfolio for profilation object-oriented variants. We have this in the research. So it is a purely notation-based modeling language. So no modeling method associated with it. It is an intent of design of notations. Can be used anywhere in the software development cycle. So it is a new purely notation-based modeling language. Said, and also UML has a become industry standard. So, but primarily promoted by IBM Reshnos. These IBM Reshno, which is used for a lot of UML tools and services. So industry standard. It is a standardized meta model, use case diagrams, class diagrams, message sequence charts, the message interaction diagrams, activity, state chart, and different kind of diagrams which is supported in a model as a meta model. So these are the basic features of the UML. Especially UML can have the specific standardized meta model which use reusability of the different kind of applications we can use that. So either you same class diagram you can use that for developing the model, a new model. So that is comes under. And what are the modeling notations which need to followed by the UML platform? So basically 6 notations will be there: use case diagram, class diagram, package diagram, state charts, sequence, and activity. So first of all, we can see the class diagram is a very important notations in UML. So class diagram focus about the information structure relation between the data items, and also modular structure of the system which is need to be developed in the class diagram. So class diagram we can say information structure relationship between the data items. So different kind of data items with relationships, and should have the modular structure of the system that show about UML class diagram. Then this kind of notation we have to follow. Use cases in user perspective. In user perspective. Hello? Most of consolidated report. FDC స్టూడెంట్స్ ఆర్గనైజ్ మొత్తం అన్ని కలిపి కావాలి. FDP సపరేట్గా పెట్టు, స్టూడెంట్స్ వరకు సపరేట్గా పెట్టు. అదే ఫ్యాకల్టీ ఒకటే ఉందా, స్టూడెంట్స్ కదా? సరే, ఫ్యాకల్టీ వరకు ఉంది. So use case prospective users view, and a different kind of list of functions, and this visual overview of the main requirement of the system that can be understood by using the use cases. Visual overview of the main requirements that can be understood in the use cases. Then UML package diagrams, overall architectures, dependence between the different kind of components which can be developed in the UML package diagram. So that is also one notation we have to follow. Then UML state charts. This state chart can handle response to events. It has some dynamic behavior, event ordering, reachability, deadlock conditions, concurrency conditions. Everything can handle by state charts. So that is comes under one of the notation in the modeling. And UML sequence diagram, it is the individual scenario based on the user system interaction between the between users and the system, and sequence of messages exchange between the object and the users. So all these things under in the sequence diagram modeling. Then activity diagram, it focuses about the business process, how concurrency and synchronization mechanism will occur. Any dependencies between the tasks we have defined, so that can be developed in the activity diagrams. So these are the kind of notations we need to follow when you are modeling any kind of software development process. So UML diagrams, UML class diagrams, use cases, UML package diagrams, UML state chart, sequence diagram, activity diagram, all these are 6 different kind of modeling notations we have to understand from the scenario. So UML plays a key role when you developing the any kind of project scenarios. So these are the types of models which is there in our UML. So previously what we are seeing, UML is a standardized general purpose program modeling language. We are saying that UML is a standardized general purpose modeling language. So it is used to specify, visualize, and construct and document the designing of object-oriented system under development. So UML can offer any kind of various elements which can visualize various elements of system, such as activities, actors, business process, databases, then logical components, programming statements, reusable software, all these things which is there in the UML platform. So it is a combination of data modeling, business modeling, object modeling, and component modeling. So these are the basic standardized general purpose modeling language supports. So, and we are following some notations. We need to follow some notation clearly. So then only we can develop the any kind of application by using the UML platform. So notation should be clear, then only you can develop it. So notations we are following: class diagram notations, use case notations, UML package diagram, UML state chart, and sequence diagram, and activity diagram. These are the notations we need to follow from the UML platform. So That is the things which are need to be understood. So I already told that what is a class. So class is a set of uh, class describes a group of objects with a similar properties like attributes, common behavior, operations, common relationship with other objects, and common meaning, that is semantics. So these are four types of things which is there. A class is a class describes about set of objects that share a common attributes, operations, relationships, and semantics. A class can be implementing by using one or more interfaces, and class can be rendered as rectangle with three compartments. So the first compartment shows the class name, second compartment shows the attribute name, third compartment shows the operations. So these are notations we have to follow in a particular class. So class is a collection. Class is a set of objects or group of objects that share a similar properties like attributes, operations, and relationships, and semantics. A class can be implemented by using one or more interfaces. Class can be rendered as rectangle with three parts. So the first part shows the class name, second part shows the attribute name, third part shows the operations. So these are the notations we will follow in the classes. So the full notations of a class. So class consists of class name, attributes, and operations. So let us I take a student is a class name. Student is a class name. So that should be as name of the class. So if you want to define the class attribute, it must have the visibility, name, attribute type, default value, then other properties. All these comes under attributes of the class. So visibility is nothing but access specifiers of the system. So basically there are three types of access specifiers for a particular attributes or operations of the class. So public, private, and protected. So public access specifier can be represented as a plus symbol, private can be as a hyphen, protected can be as a hash symbol. So we talk about the terminology, not a access pair, it is called a visibility. So access space pair is equal to visibility in your UML concepts. So UML have only access visibility. Visibility can have three types: public, private, and protected. So public can be represented as a plus symbol, private can be represented as hyphen, protected represented as a hash symbol. So like this we can define the visibility. Then followed by, so I am defining the name is the attribute name. So name should be as a visibility as public, the name attribute name followed by attribute type. Attribute type is a data type you have to define particular attribute. So this is attribute type, that is called string, is equal to, if you want to define any default value, place the default value, then followed by other properties like read only, write only, like that we have to define that other properties. So a single attribute consists of visibility, attribute name, attribute type, default value, other properties. All these are five different kind of things which is there in the attributes of the class. So if you want to define the operations of the class, so first visibility, then followed by operation name, followed by parameters you are passing, any parameters passing the operation, then any return value. So these are four things which need to be understood when you are defining the operations of the class. So operation consists of visibility, operation name, parameters, and return value. So these are totally 10 important things we need to understand from the class sim notation. So first one is the name of the class, then attributes of the class, then operations. So attribute consists of visibility, attribute name, attribute type, default value, other properties. So operations consist of class operation consists of operation name, parameters, and return value. So these are the notations we need to follow whenever you are using the class diagram. So you can easily understand about how to define a classes with how the visibility, with how the name, with how the that is called the attribute type, then followed by any default value or the any other properties you can use it. So this is the notation we have to follow in the uh, class diagrams in our unified modeling language. So class is a group of objects that share a common properties that share common properties, attributes, operations, and relationship among them. So class can be implemented by using one or more interfaces. Class can be rendered as rectangle with through two compartments. Rectangle with three compartments. The first compartment shows the name of the class. Second compartment shows the attributes of the class. Third compartment shows the operations of the class. So these are the notations we have to follow in a class diagrams in our UML language. So what is object? What is object and what is class? What is the difference between class and object? So object is instance of a class. The instances of a class are called as objects. Objects are represented by using with the class name. They have only attributes. There is no operations. So the relation between the object and its class called as instantiation. The relation between an object and a class is called an instantiation. Basically, two different objects may have identical attributes values. Basically, two different objects may have identical attributes values. So, object can be as instance of a class called object. So, object can be represented as class name followed by object name. The relation between the object and class is called as instantiation. The relation between the object and the class is called as an instantiation. So like that you can represent the objects in the model. So objects does not exist isolation from another. A relationship represents the connection among the things that not exist in isolation to another. So there are kind of relationships are used to implement in between the classes. That is association, generalization, dependency, and relation. So association can be categorized into aggregation and composition. So these are the type of things relationship which is there in our unified modeling language platform. So each and every relationship have significant responsibility to develop the any kind of application. So these relationships plays a key role for the development of the project scenario. So these are things. So especially in UML, today what we are discuss is in UML. First we can see the UML architecture. So UML architecture UML is for visualizing, specifying, constructing, and documenting the entire software architecture. So the things and the system that are and things and the system and relationships among the things. So there are 5 different types of the different views. So design view, implementation view, process view, deployment view, and use case view. So design view will deal about the vocabulary and functionality of system. Implementation will focus the system assembly and configuration management. Process view deal about the performance, scalability, throughput. Deployment view, system topology, distribution, delivery, installation. Use case view will focus about the behavior of the system. So all these are comes under these are different views in the UML architecture. So each and every view has a significant role in the UML architecture. So you can see already use case view. It analyzes the use case view. Use case analysis is a technique for capturing the business process from user perspective. It encompasses the behavior as seen by the users and analysts and testers. It specifies forces that shape the architecture. There are two types of diagram will support the use case view. So static aspects use case diagram, dynamic aspects interaction diagrams are using that. That's state and activity diagram. Design view, it encompasses the classes, interfaces, and collaborations that defines the vocabulary of the system. So it encompasses threads and process during the concurrency and synchronization. It addresses the process view, it addresses the performance and scalability and throughput of the system, that is process view. Then implementation view, it encompasses the components that files are usable to assemble and release a physical system. It addresses the configuration management. So in static aspects, we are using component diagram. Dynamic aspect, you will go for interaction diagram. That is implementation view. Then followed by deployment view. It encompasses the nodes that from the hardware topology, and it addresses the distribution and delivery installation, which is focused in the model. So static aspects deployment diagrams are using that. Dynamic aspects interaction diagrams are using that. So that is comes under deployment view. Then these are the 5 different views. So first view is design, use case view, design view, process view, implementation view, and deployment view. Then we are following some of the modeling notations for UML modeling notations. The class diagrams, use case, package diagram, state chart, sequence diagram, and active diagram. These plays a key role in a UML platform. So class diagram is informational structure relationship between the data items. So modular structure for the system, that is UML class diagram. Use case diagram, use cases, users view, list of functions, visual overview in the main requirements, that is use cases. UML package diagrams, overall architecture, dependence between the components, that is UML package diagrams. UML state charts, responses to the events, dynamic behavior, event ordering, fetchability, and deadlock. So UML sequence diagrams, individual scenarios, interaction between the users and system, and sequencing numbering, sequence of numbering, that is UML sequence diagram. So UML sequence diagram. So UML sequence diagram, it is individual scenario, interaction between the user and system. It is set of messages exchange between the different kind of objects. It will show a set of messages exchange between the different kind of objects. So that is UML can have specific responsibility which is designed in the scenario. So we can clearly understand how the sequence diagram plays a key role in UML. So the set of messages exchange between the different aspects of the system. So UML active diagram, it is a business process which can handle concurrency and synchronization. These dependencies the UML active diagram will have the handling of the concurrency and synchronization, and it is that any dependencies between the tasks also we can handle in the active diagram. So these are the kind of notations we are follow in a UML platform. So these are the different kind of the things we are understanding from the UML. So what is class? Class is a class describes the group of objects with similar properties like attributes, operations, relationships, and semantics. So class can be implementing by one or more interfaces. So class can be rendered as rectangle with a so class can be represented as rectangle with three compartments. So it shows about the class name, attributes, and operations. Notation we follow for the class is name of the class. Attributes consist of the visibility, attribute name, attribute type, any default value, other properties. So class have the operations name. Operation name consists of the visibility, operation name, and parameters, and any return value. So you can clearly understandable these kind of things which is from the class symbol. So this is the notation we are following in the class. So up to this, any queries, please ask us. If you have any queries.